And oh yeah, the PS4 Madden community. What's up, everybody? Listen, my PSN, my name, I go by the name of Mr. Hollywood Havoc. Check me out. Click that like button, subscribe to me. You can find me on YouTube. I only post CFM Connected Franchise. I'm sorry, I had a brain freeze. I only post CFM Connected Franchise content. So please check me out. Smash the like button for me. Let me get some subs. Subscribe to me. I'm gonna put out good content for you. I don't do a lot of narration on my content unless I'm doing something like this, explaining and breaking down Madden 20 settings. There's a lot of things going on out there in the Madden community in regards to what people think is the best type of settings to play with. All pro, all Madden, competitive, simulation, you name it. There's a big debate going on about that. But I'm here to set some of the ground rules and give you a complete breakdown on why, what is what, and we'll go from there. So give me 1 second. Let me post my link in the group chat so people can get a idea of what's going on, and we'll break this down for you. And but I hope everybody's having a good day, man. You know, I appreciate those that have been subscribing to me and checking me out and giving me their feedback. I truly do appreciate it, and I will respond back to you as soon as I can. So so let's go ahead and get this popping, man. You know, let's go ahead and sync that. No, I can't sync that. That's a Madden 20, Madden 19 icon. I need something for 20. Let's see here. Here we go. Oh yeah, we got it now. We got it now. Madden 20. Madden 20. Yeah. All right. So back to what I was saying. I had to post my link in the group chat so everybody can check it out. We're about to get the CFM settings going, and I'm going to break down and explain things for you. Try to go by as fast as possible, but as detail oriented as possible. For those that are just tuning in, like I said before, there's a lot of myths out there on which is the best type of settings to play with. But I'm going to give you my complete breakdown that I submitted into Operation Sports. There have been at least anywhere between 13 to about 20 in between that number. CFM simulation sim leagues that have adopted my league rules, my sliders. So I appreciate you guys for using a variation or the complete 100% version of it. Welcome to my world of simulation football. So let's get this thing started and let's go to the game settings so you guys know exactly what's going on. So we go here to the game settings. I want to let you guys know what I'm playing on. Okay. Of course, I use a custom playbook. I'm not going to disclose what playbook I use, but my custom playbook is based off of the New England Patriots, and my custom defensive playbook is based off the San Diego Chargers 4-3 playbook. Just to give you a little bit of that. So, what we want to do, creating a CFM league or just playing on certain settings. Those that already are familiar with the online gaming system know that when you play any ranked games, you play on the All Pro and its competitive settings. Now, as you see, if you click on the competitive, it tells you exactly what it breaks down. Competitive users, stick skills are king, are head-to-head ranked online tournament default. Now, also, they fail to mention in the competitive settings, if you have a wide receiver, let's just hypothetically say Antonio Brown's the best wide receiver in the game, hands down, correct? So Antonio Brown has all his traits. He has aggressive catch, he has run after the catch, he has tippy toe, he has anything you could possibly think of that a wide receiver would need to be an elite wide receiver, he has. When you play on competitive mode, all those traits are activated. That's right. Take it in. Take a moment. Breathe it in. internalize it, and think about it. That means you can have a bum wide receiver or a bum player, regardless of his position. All their traits for that particular position are active. If they don't even have it, it's activated. That's what I'm trying to break down the myth about. People don't understand that. Everybody wants to play on competitive mode. They say, oh, they play that on the unranked games, the tournament play. You know why they play it like that on the tournament play and on the ranked games, the ranked system? Because everybody wants high scoring. It's just like the real NFL. Why you think they got these ESPN Madden competitions going on TV? And they play on competitive because they want the high flying, spectacular catches, dynamic runs. They don't want defense is not rewarded in competitive mode. It is to a certain degree with hit sticks and strip the ball, but it's kind of like, okay, if I'm going up against let's say an opponent and we're playing on competitive and I'm on defense, they're on offense, they run the ball with Ezekiel Elliott. Well, Ezekiel Elliott already has the trait that's activated, covers the ball on all hits. So the odds of him getting stripped, or even with a hit stick fumbling, is like a dice roll all the time. So, and it's a dice roll if I get the hit stick or I get the strip activation. It's a dice roll. It's no, oh, that player has that trait, so I know he's good to go. Let's give you another example. Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner already has the big hit trait, and he's an X Factor player. So anytime that you run up the middle or you're running around and Bobby Wagner hits you, 9 out of 10 of his tackles are hit stick tackles. 9 out of 10. Now, I'm not tripping on that because you know why? Bobby Wagner is that dude. But he ain't hit sticking everybody 9 out of 10 times. But on the game, he does. So that's why when you see these ranked championship games broadcasted on ESPN about Madden 19, Madden 20, they play on competitive because they want the excitement of it. They don't want a bare knuckle dogfight. They want the excitement. Basically, if you're a fan of the worst team in the game right now, based on the roster, is the Miami Dolphins. They don't have a lot to work with. They don't have a lot of talent. But let's just say you got the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins on competitive mode is just as good as the New England Patriots on competitive mode. You put it on competitive mode, the overall goes out the picture. Everybody's the same. It's all about the attributes like the speed, the agility. It's that's the only thing that comes into play and how well you use that. It takes no accountability of the players' traits that they have for that particular position. That's the problem with playing on competitive mode. So when I do my CFM league, because so many people they want to play on all Madden or they don't want to play on all pro. But if you're going to play on all pro, you put it on competitive. That's what they play on in the tournaments. That's why you get the high scores, the big hits, and this and that. The traits don't mean nothing. Competitive is built for all pro. Now, when you go to all Madden is built for simulation. Simulation is the opposite of competitive. That simply states that if your player has an aggressive catch or a big hit or a truck stick, if they have that particular trait and you use it in the game, it's activated for that particular player only. So, if you try to truck somebody who doesn't have a truck stick, let's say you're using random running back. Bo Scarborough, for example, he's still on the game, plays for Seattle. Let's say you're using Bo Scarborough. Bo Scarborough don't have no truck stick. He don't have no I'm gonna run you over. He'll truck a lower defender who doesn't have the hit power or the tackling ability. He'll truck a smaller defender, but if he was going up against Bobby Wagner, even though he's bigger than Bobby Wagner, he ain't running Bobby Wagner over. Bobby Wagner gonna lay the wood on him, and it's a wrap. That's the difference. Simulation takes in consideration the overall of that particular player and their traits that they already have available in their toolkit. It's very simple. Now, you can sit up here and think you're good and you're great and you play on competitive all day, but then when you get in simulation, and you crying that your guys ain't doing this, your guys ain't doing that. Well, you were used to them doing this in competitive mode because everything was activated. But you flip it on simulation, and half of you guys fall to the wayside. You don't know how to play the game because now it's a thinking game when you play on simulation. Competitive is not a thinking game. I could throw the ball up and moss you with a 5'9" wide receiver. There's no thought in that. So I'm forced all my guys in my leagues to play on all Madden since they want to bitch and complain. I'm sorry, I can't say that on YouTube. Since they want to moan and complain that, oh man, I don't do all pro, that's weak, and I only play on all Madden. Well, let me explain all Madden, all pro. All Madden is one simple thing different from all pro. CPU. All Madden makes the CPU smarter around you and smarter against you. So that just means is if you're playing on all Madden, you may not manually put your guy in position, but the CPU will. It's just backup. Now, it has its pros and its cons. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I don't like it at times. If it was up to me, I would play on simulation arcade. Simulation all pro. Because the game is a little bit slower. It makes it more methodical. And the fact that on all pro, you have to manually put your guys in position. Now, I understand you can't control the other 10 guys on the field, but you can make pre-play adjustments to put them in somewhat of a decent position. It requires more thought. All pro requires more thought. Playing on all Madden, I can come out in a default play, and it's a roll of the dice whether the CPU is going to put my guy in an alert, attentive, in the right position, meaning that he's going to be where he needs to be when that ball comes that way, or that running back or that ball carrier is in his area. It's that simple. It makes the computer smarter for you and against you. So in actuality, it's kind of balancing itself out if you want that assistant. But if you really want to test your Madden IQ, play on all pro and on simulation. That's the real test. So with that being said, I kind of gotta, keep a full league and keep guys somewhat happy. I really don't care. At the end of the day, it's my way or the highway. But I try to give them something to keep them enticed. So even though I play on all Madden, I play on simulation. So that means, okay, the CPU gonna put you in the right position. They're gonna help you out. They're gonna bail you out, or they're gonna be more alert for you and against you. But I'm gonna make you play simulation, meaning that if that CPU player doesn't have the aggressive catch or the big hit, he ain't gonna do shit. Oh, I'm sorry, YouTube. I ain't supposed to do it out either. They're not gonna do anything. They're gonna make a regular tackle, or they're gonna get run over, or they'll swat the ball, may not swat the ball. You don't know, because it all comes down to the particular players on your team and what they have available in their skill trait kit. Aggressive catch, cover on all big hits, run after the catch, swim move, spin move, power move, hit stick, sense pressure in the pocket, throw the ball away. All that comes into play when you play on simulation. So that's what we play on. I don't mess with the rookie. I don't mess with the pro. It's going to be all Madden simulation. So I kind of like guys want to give me a hard time about all pro, all Madden. So I just said, okay, boom. Quick fix to that situation was to play on all Madden, but do simulation. So, of course, they have arcade on here, and arcade is like playing. How can I say? Let me give you the best way to describe what arcade is. Arcade as playing on arcade for Madden is like, remember that game they had in the arcade back in the day, NBA Jam, and they had like Shaq and all them guys on there, and when you hit 3 shots in a row or 2 shots in a row, you get 2 monster dunks or whatever, they'd be like, you're on fire, and everything you throw up, it just be falling in, the fire be coming from the ball and everything. So basically you're unstoppable. That's what arcade is. Arcade is just a fun, exciting way to play the game. But I force everybody to play on all Madden and simulations. Now, get down here to the quarter left. I don't want to be playing the game for no hour and 10, 15 minutes or anything like that. So what I do, I play 6-minute quarters. I turn the acceleration clock off, and that comes out to be roughly anywhere between 49 minutes to 55 minutes for a complete game. It could run 60 minutes total, depending on people calling timeouts, pausing the game, whatever. That's just what it is. For those tuning in, if you just tuning in, when the video is over, because this is live right now, go back and rewatch the beginning. I broke down the differences between all Madden and simulation, and all Madden competitive and pro competitive. I broke down the whole thing for you guys. So, moving on. Auto flip, I always play on because you got some guys that'll come out here and they'll come out one way and they'll just flip the play on you. And if you're playing defense and you're playing the field as well as you're playing your opponent, and you don't have your auto flip on, you're going to get exposed real quick because your players are not going to they're not going to adjust. So put it on auto flip. They automatically realign based on, no matter what formation you call, they'll realign according to what the offense is going to do. And it's just your job to take away the open areas of the field. So we put offensive ball hawk on. Some people leave it off, some people leave it on. It really doesn't affect the linebackers too much this year because they kind of nerfed them, except for linebackers like Bobby Wagner, Luke Kuechly. Hell, even sometimes I've seen them get nerfed to a certain degree. They don't always go for the ball on a ball hawk, but it's really good for your DBs to kind of break on the ball and stuff like that. But if you're playing on all Madden, they're going to automatically break for the ball because the CPU is going to put your players in position, the right time, in the right place. Playing on all pro, they wouldn't do that. You would have to manually do it yourself. Defensive heat seeker, on, off, doesn't really matter. I like to play with it on. It just allows your defenders to steer towards the ball carrier when attempting to run or dive at them. So if you try to dive at them and you got it on, you're going to dive in the directions that they are. But if you got a player that you're playing against and he got a good, like let's say Saquon Barkley, he got that ultimate X Factor juke, well, you're going to miss all the time when that juke is activated. So it works good for tackling those particular players that don't have that that juke or spin capability. You're always going to be able to dive in the right direction. Defense assistant switch, I play with that on. It just allows you when the ball is in the air or somebody's running the ball, if you're on the opposite side of the field or whatever, you're too far away, you click on it, the CPU is going to put you to the closest defender that they think could benefit you to get to the ball carrier. Or if the ball is in the air, they're going to put you to the nearest defender closest to where the ball is projectively going to be targeted at. Sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it don't, because there's been times where you have it on and you click on it and you click on a DB or something and they make you try to be the safety, they make you be the corner, it can screw you up. So it's a give and take. It's a roll of the dice. 9 times out of 10, it's probably 60% chance that it works more than it fails you. So that's how we do it. Injuries. Now, when the game first came out, the injuries are automatically set for I think 50%, which is crazy because guys is having season injuries for 29, 34 weeks. I turned that bad puppy down to it's on 10 right now, but I bump it up. I think that's the new default setting since the latest patch and everything came out. But I turned it up to 15. That's where I was playing at last year. Had reasonable injuries, fatigue, and everything like that was all cool. Fatigue, I still leave it at 50%. I don't touch that. Player speed threshold. Basically, that's what it is. It determines if a player is fast, he's just fast. Now, certain angles on the game, you can have a 90 speed corner chasing down Tyreek Hill, and he has 99 speed. It's nobody. If Tyreek Hill gets behind you, or even if he's running alongside of you, there's no way in the world you should be able to keep up with him. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. So I'm not trying to have the computer bail you out. So guess what? I turn it all the way down. I put it at 0. You put it at 0. If somebody's 99 speed, they 99 speed. If they 70 speed, they 70 speed. It keeps it realistic to what the number of their physical attribute is. So moving on. Here we go to accessibilities. Accessibilities is something
Entering
new that they
settings
added
screen, you
in,
have 19 options.
and
Menu narration
this
option is set to office selected.
lady is talking to me in my headset here. Anyway, I use enlarge on-field graphics. Basically, that just makes your square button pop up bigger, your triangle button, your R button, your O button. It just shows a little bit bigger. It's a matter of preference. You can have it regular, you can have it on. It just depends on what you want. I like it big because when I see the light lights up, and I'm like, okay, hit stick time, boom, whatever. My very important thing, another very important thing. We're going to go down here to in-game commentary. As you see, I have custom audio settings. On the custom audio settings, I do my in-game commentary. I turn it down to about 55% because they're still going to talk the irregular amount. It's just how loud they're going to talk. So I turn it down to 55%. I'm going to get to the secret to why I turn it down at 55%. Stadium speakers, I bump that down to 65%. They're still going to play the music regardless. It's just how loud you're going to hear the stadium speakers. The crowd, I like to hear the crowd. I ain't going to lie. I like to hear the roar of the crowd. So I bump that down to 75, which is higher than the stadium speakers and higher than the commentary. Now, on the field, that's very important. I leave it at 100%. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. If you're a student of the game and you pay attention to your opponent's offensive or defensive tendencies, you can actually hear the players calling out not necessarily plays, but calling out certain, okay, coverages or giving directions to particular players on the offensive line or the wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, or whatever, who to block, who not to block. You can actually hear that. It's kind of fun. You really have to listen for it. Most people don't pay any attention to it, but if you really want to test yourself with it, turn your crowd settings off, turn your speaker settings off, and turn your get commentary off, and just play with the on-field um, sound up, and you will literally hear like a Luke Kuechly calling out directions to the defense, or somebody like an Andrew Luck or Tom Brady giving out signal information to real life signal information to their particular uh, offense and defensive players. So I find that to be pretty interesting. Little nugget I throw in there. All right, so moving on. Player skills. The dreaded player skills. Now, as you can see, everything is set for the default settings. I don't do default because I play on simulation, but we play on all Madden. So, let me go to my trusted little sidekick of notes here, and we will get it together for you. Now, these are the gameplay sliders. Now, what we do for human as well as CPU, we keep everything exactly the same. So, quarterback accuracy, we turn that down to 30%. They're still going to throw accurate passes. Rookies are going to be rookies, and veterans are going to be veterans. So don't trip, people. Pass blocking. The way this new game is set up, where it's defensive line friendly, meaning that guys is block shedding, like your offensive linemen aren't even there. I leave it at 50%. Now you can actually bump it up between 50 to 60, but 50% is really a good number to have it set for. Um, Catching. Catching helps with 80 more dynamic catching. So we turn that down to 45. They're already making dynamic catches at 50. They mossing you at 50. So we want it somewhat realistic. I'm going to say somewhat. We do want it realistic playing in simulation. So if we get mossed or somebody makes a crazy catch like Antonio Brown or Odell Beckham, they deserve to make it because they make those catches in real life. That's all it does. And let me explain the pass blocking and the quarterback settings why I have it. I'm going to backtrack real quick. So we have the pass blocking set at 50, which helps to trigger more blocking animations, concluding conceding with penalty. I'm sorry, I got tongue tied. Helps to show more blocking animation and to what's the other word I'm looking for? Shows you if you got a guy that you may need to replace on the offensive line, like a pass blocker who is holding off, jumping off sides because he doesn't have certain certain traits that he's like patient or anything like that. It just triggers those animations to give you a little bit more time in the pocket. Quarterback accuracy, keep it at, like I said, 30%. Helps with aiding with more offsets on passes. So you got a rookie quarterback and you throw him in the game like a Drew Jones from the New York Giants. You throw him in the game and you think he's going to make every pass across the middle for every drag route. He's going to overthrow out of 10 plays. He's going to overthrow one and he's going to underthrow another. So he's probably going to be about 2 for 10 on his passing. But still, that's kind of like, even that's a little high. But 30% is good. It still gives you a good balance. We're going to go down here to the run blocking. Run blocking already is on steroids in the game. Everybody knows it. The game is off the chain with the runs. Got Ezekiel Elliott. He get a little bit of speed. It's a wrap. Gurley, Saquon Barkley, it's a wrap. I mean, even a rinky-dink running back can run pretty good on you. So we turn to run blocking to give the defense a chance, because they haven't nerfed the run game yet. We put the run blocking at 42. Run blocking helps with adding more dynamic gap blocking. That's why it's set at 42. Fumbles, we take that all the way down to 25%. 50%, nah, we don't want 50. We take that. We don't need most guys don't be fumbling that much, and the ones that do fumble is because you get a hit stick. So we're gonna keep it like that. So with the fumbles helps by adding more dynamic tackling, secure ball timing. Meaning, if you're gonna cover the ball, like most people do when they run or catch the ball with a wide receiver, they don't want to brace for a hit. They cover the ball. If you cover the ball, you're not gonna fumble. But if you just run through the middle and don't cover the ball, you're going to get popped, and that ball going to come out, especially at 25%. So, play reaction time. Reaction time helps to improve coverage transitions. We're playing on all Madden. The CPU is going to help you out regardless. So, I put it at 43%. I take it from 50 because when it's on 50 and you're playing on all Madden, you will see how the CPU is putting you guys in the right position. At least with 43%, you could actually drop it down to 40, really. Anything under 45% is really good. But I keep it at 43, 42. I've been playing at 43 for a while, and I find it to be more realistic with guys moving on the ball or taking pursuit angles on runs. So we go to the interceptions. Interceptions, we put that down to 42. Most of the times, if the ball hits the guy square in the chest, if they got a decent catch, they go catch. But I don't need a ball to barely be a ball. A quarterback throws a missed pass, but it don't hit a defender square in the chest, and because he got a 40+ catch, he's supposed to catch the interception. No, it ain't hit him square in the chest. He had to do a little work, and he ain't got the hands anyway. So he's supposed to drop the ball. He knocked it down, but he's supposed to drop it down. So we set it at 42%, and then putting the interception at 42% helps to improve coverage aggression. Pass coverage. Very important. Everybody always asks me, what does pass coverage do? We set that for 45%. Pass coverage is set for 45%, and it helps to improve coverage. Very simple. Helps to improve coverage. You're in a cover 3, and you got dumb guys, they're going to still be dumb. Because the CPU is going to help you out, especially on all Madden. It's going to help you out to a certain degree. But if you got smart guys, they're going to be smart. They're still going to be where they need to be, and the CPU will help them out. So you kind of got to play with it a little bit, but 45 seems to be really realistic in the league that I run. And once again, all my sliders and everything was submitted by Operational Sports. There's about 17 to 15, anywhere between 10 to 20 leagues that have adopted my sliders as well as my league rules for simulation football. So moving on. Tackling, the dreaded tackling. Now, I have played around with this a lot. 50% they break tackles, but they tackle pretty good at 50%. They really do. You can keep it at default. I set it at 48. Now, in my experience and testing these out, anything below 48 guys, especially elite running backs, man, it's like playing technical ball out there. They just running over your DBs. Your DBs can't tackle. None. Y'all seen that glitch out there where you got a mobile quarterback and you hike the ball, you just run sideways and sideways and back and sideways, don't cross the line of scrimmage, and you can like not get tackled at all ever, and you wait for the defense to get tired and you take off with your mobile quarterback down the field. Yeah, that that's what it's like if you play below 48%. So 48% still gives you great tackling. Allows elite players are still going to be elite players, but the average run-of-the-mill running back, wide receiver, corner, they're not going to be trucking you. If you got a good one, yeah, they're going to truck you. If not, your guy's going to make the tackle. So we set it at 48%. And that helps to improve with locomotion and dynamic tackling and more wrap tackling. So it gives you more of a wrap-up tackle. And okay, so moving on over to the field goal. We set field goal for 53%. 53% kicks the ball a little bit further than most. I mean, come on, let's think about it. Most guys can kick the ball nowadays 55, 60 yards. How accurate is it is a difference. But most of them's kicking the ball that far anyway. So, with that being said, we dropped the accuracy all the way down to 39. Yeah, because you got some kickers with 96, 98 kick power on the game already, and their accuracy is horrible. So this makes it a little bit harder for them to control the kick meter. Punts, we put the punt goes up to 54. Most guys can boot the ball out the stadium anyway. But the main important thing is the punt accuracy. The punt accuracy is dropped down to 39%. So if you want to coffin kick a punt, you want to put it at the 1 or at the 2 in the corner or something, the accuracy is going to make it a little difficult for you. Kickoffs, 53%. You can leave it at default if you want, but hell, even at default, most of them are still kicking out of the end zone. They kick the ball 10 yards further, 10 yards closer to where they were last year. So every time they kick the ball, a guy with 80 kick power is going to kick the ball out of bounds behind the end zone. So we keep it at 53%. Elite kickers are still going to be elite kickers. If you want to return it, you don't want to return it, doesn't really matter. All right, so they are the player skill settings. So now we're going to save those so they're uploaded. And we'll save those to the new file. And that's for the player settings. And I'll label that as players so you guys will know. And I may just upload these sliders to the Madden community so y'all can download them. Remember Hollywood Havoc, Mr. Hollywood Havoc. So just search my screen name and you can download the sliders. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go to the CPU sliders, which are exactly the same as the manual sliders. Keep it the same, man. For real. Keep it the same. So, quarterback. 30%. Pass block stays at 50%. Catch at 45%. Run blocking is at 42%. Fumbles are at 25%. Reaction time, haha, 43%. Interceptions, 42%. Remember, these are the same as the player settings. Pass coverage, we have that set for 45%. Helps with, improves pass coverage with dynamic breaks on the balls. So, that's kind of funny, breaks on the balls. Anyway, tackling, 48%. Helps to improve locomotion and dynamic tackles and gives you more wrap tackles. Field goal power is 53%. Accuracy is 39%. Punt 53%, 39%. And kickoff power is 54%. But no, punt power is 54%. Kick power is 39%. So those are the CPU settings, and they stay the same. And we'll go ahead and save those. And I'm going to upload these so you guys can have them. If you want to try them out in your CFM, you're going to love them. Trust me, you're going to love them. So y'all make sure y'all, thanks for subscribing and drop a like. And CPU. There it is. Got it. Alright. Let's see. Get out of that. Visual feedback. That's self-explanatory. That basically just depends on how you like to play. I personally play with the old Madden settings, the cross. That's the old settings. I'm just accustomed to it. I kind of don't like how they changed the configuration now with your linebackers and your defensive line and all that stuff because I was used to it. It took me a while to get used to that. Now I gotta completely switch over, and I think this way in the long run will be better if they, especially if they keep it this way. It'll be a lot faster for guys to make those adjustments, but just getting used to it is the hard part. So good luck. On-field visual feedback. On-field visual feedback is just what it is for. It shows you for pass, tells you if you need an aggressive catch, rack catch, possession catch, hit stick, truck, whatever. It just gives you a little icon over your player, depending on that player and what skill trait he has, and it tells you what you should be doing and what uh, trait you need to engage, whether it's a truck or aggressive catch, rack catch, etc., etc., etc. Receiver visual feedback. Nobody's playing as a receiver in my league. It's either coach or owner, so that's off. Drive goals and XP feedback. That's totally up to you. It's a personal preference. I don't need my drive goals on the field because I'm not worried. I'm not trying to achieve goals. My ultimate goal is to win the game. So trying to get the ball to a certain person or make a certain stop a certain way is not going to do me any good if I lose the game. So I turn that off. I don't even want to know. Franchise bottom line ticker. We turn that off. I don't care about the scores of the games. Personal preference, once again, leave it on, turn it off. Your choice. Franchise game plan boost notification. Now, I like this. I really do. When you do your game prep for your XP and everything like that, and you get ready for your opponent, it gives you a game plan boost for that particular play or that particular concept that you're trying to beat on offense or you're trying to make a stop with defense. So if you do like attack cover 3 on offense and certain plays kind of glow with a green light around them, saying that if you call this particular play, you get like a increase on success of the play, and the same for the defense. Coaching tips, we turn that off. Pre-snap menu. I leave that on. Basically, just allows me to see what the hell I'm doing, hot routes and stuff like that. Because some quarterbacks, like a Tom Brady, Andrew Luck, they have like, or Aaron Rodgers, they have like hot route master or something like that, where the average quarterback maybe has like 8 hot routes he can call for his wide receiver, but Tom Brady and certain elite quarterbacks have like damn near 12 to 15. Like you can't call a post pattern for nobody else, but with Tom Brady on the field, you can tell that wide receiver who doesn't even have the post route capability. Tom Brady can say, "Hey, run a post route," and he will be like, "Okay, I'm gonna run a post route." And you can set him up for a post route. It's crazy, but certain quarterbacks do that in the CFM franchise. So, player names always pre-snap only. I don't need to see it when the game is on. Camera talk. Now, depends on, this is personal preference. I turn mine off. I'm not trying to be a first person view like I'm playing Call of Duty. I turn passing cam off. I turn camera toggle off because sometimes you get a little carried away. You hit the down on the thumbstick, and all of a sudden now you're at a different camera angle that you like, oh shit, oh crap, what the hell? You're trying to figure out how to get out of it and everything like that. I just turn it off. I play traditional standard. I actually like the wide view, and this is again preference. Most people play on standard. That's what the game is set for, standard. I like the wide view. Gives me a little bit deeper angle of the whole field to a certain degree. But when you play on standard, the run game seems to be a little bit better playing on standard. Not because it's enhancing you, but because it allows you to see the holes better. So, again, that's preference. Also, the same thing with the camera settings. The defensive settings. You can play on standard, wide, all 22, whatever. It's a preference. Um, so I like to play on wide or standard. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Franchise player role. Most guys don't play as a franchise in my league, so that's totally option. You can leave it on player lock, so you'll always be the player. The camera will give you the first person's perspective of the player you're choosing to be. So if you're playing a DB or a safety will see the whole field from the back side of the field versus a linebacker and stuff like that. Or a quarterback would see the whole front of the field like he was if he was in a standard view or a wide view. So those are the settings for that particular thing. Like I said, I like to use the wide settings. So I use the wide on all of it.
Menu narration option is set to off.
Graphics, enlarge graphics, we went through that already. We leave that on. It just enlarges the icons like aggressive catch, rat catch, stuff like that. So no big deal with all that. So we're going to get on up out of here. Did the volume, controller. No, we don't need to do all that. You guys have been playing Madden long enough. You should know. So, visibility. That's what I want to go back to again. Now, for most people that are in my league, I just passed a rule saying that previous play selection had to be on. Everybody needs to turn this on. Very simple. Previous play information, turn it on. And what that means is, after the play is over with, and you go back to your huddle, it will show you the play you called, and it will show you the play your defender called. Now, if your defender turns his off and yours is on, you're only going to see what you called. Every now and then you may see what he called, but it's kind of like a hide and seek type thing. But with the influx of the mobile quarterback on the game, I force people to play with it on starting next season. This year, I kind of was trying it out to see what it's like, but I've been getting some complaints of guys just like instantly snapping the ball with the quarterback from Arizona, or you got Lamar Jackson. They just take it off to the sideline and playmakering down the side of the field. It's crazy. So I had to put some rules in place that has to be turned on. So if somebody presents me with video documentation of their infraction of sprinting out the pocket on a non-default rollout play to playmaker down the field, that's against the rules because it's a cheat to me. They still haven't completely fixed that yet. The contains still don't completely work yet. So I make them play with it on so I can make a determination as the commissioner on whether I should suspend a player or whatever because, I'm getting complaints that guys are abusing the mobile quarterbacks. So that has to be on. So, actually, while I got that right there, let me take a photo of it so I can post it in my group chat so that these guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, and the dynamic play calling. When the setting is on, the options to play call shows. So dynamic play calling has to be on. No, sorry, dynamic play calling has to be off. That has to be off. So you guys make sure y'all turn it off. Dynamic play calling off and previous play selection on. That way you can determine. I'm sorry if I confused y'all with the previous statement. I was thinking about the dynamic play calling versus the previous play. Previous play will still show you what was called, both sides, offense and defense, but the dynamic play does not hide. You turn it off, it shows everything. So that has to be turned off. So moving forward, so we got all those situated. Gave you my settings, gave you my sliders. While I got you out here, I'm gonna go ahead and upload them for the Madden community, like I said I would. Share. We share it. We share. Oh shit. So 1 second, hit the wrong button, I believe. So that's it, man. Thank y'all for checking it out, tuning in. I'm going to go to share right now. We're going to share my file for the settings, and y'all make sure y'all check them out. You want to download them. They're yours. Go try them out. Use them, like them, love them, work with them. But don't touch them. They're already set. These are CPU. CPU. Oh, CPU. CFM settings. now we're gonna go to the defensive, the player settings. Upload these. Player CFM settings all. Maybe I should have put that in the last one too. All Madden simulation. So these guys, you know, it's not for competitive. Hey you guys, appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all smash that like button. Let me know what you think about. I'm sorry, no music behind this stuff yet. I'm gonna work all that out for you. We're gonna get it live and popping moving forward with this Madden 20 thing this year. And I'm gonna edit this right here. Edit the description. CFM settings. CFM all Madden. Good lord, I'm having work too much, man. I'm having brain freezes. My hands moving too fast. All Madden settings. All Madden simulation settings. That's right. Gotta make sure I'm very detailed so you guys know what you're looking for. Settings. Alright, so now they're uploaded, guys. Shoot. Edit. I know how to spell. So they're uploaded, man. Y'all enjoy, download them, rock with your league on them, and smash that like button. Thanks for tuning in, subscribing, and hey man, I'm out.